Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratrishe Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Anantakoti Vaishnavadi Ki Jai Namacharya Thastakur Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So today is the last chapter on Bhakti. I mean, all the chapters have Bhakti, but specifically the chapter 7 to chapter 12 deal with Bhakti Yoga. So today, chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga. So welcome everyone to understand Gita in 18 days. Devotional service. Let's bear obeisances to Sri Radha Govind, ISKCON Mangaluru deities, and to Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Overview of the chapter. Arjuna's inquiry. So whether worshipping personal form is right or impersonalism. So he wants to again, Arjuna's inquiry here. And then Krishna, personalist versus impersonalist. You see what is the advantage and disadvantage of worshipping impersonalism, in the sense the light, right? The effulgence of the Lord. And then progressive stages of bhakti. So Krishna gives options. Okay, if you cannot do the Ananya Bhakti, then what are the other options? Like 24 hours, I cannot remember Krishna. Then what? So he gives many options, like 5-6 options Krishna gives us. So, and then the qualities that endear one to Lord Krishna. So these are the 5 shlokas, deal 5 or 7 shlokas. They deal only about the qualities of a pure devotee. Arjuna Uvacha Evam satata yukta ye bhaktasvam paryupasate ye chapyakshara avyaktam teshanke yoga vittamaha. Yeah, someone can read.
Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
So why is Arjuna asking this question now? So you can give what is your opinion? Why is Arjuna asking this question? Like, which is more perfect? Whether engaging in devotional service? Obviously, devotional service we cannot do with somebody who there is no form, right? You cannot worship someone like a light or something. So it has to be a personal form. So is it devotional service better or impersonal Brahman? So what is impersonal Brahman? It's the effulgence of the Lord, right? The light. So some people worship God, like they say, like, I believe in there is some power, some light, but they don't believe in the form, right? So why is Arjuna asking this question? Can somebody say?
To clarify the methods of bhakti.
Yeah, so like for people of Kali Yuga, right? That is one. And anybody else want to say anything on this? That's all. Because there are many people, right? 90% in the world, and especially in the West, they were all believing more of like a Shunyavadi, like we say in that while saying the Prabhupada Pranati also, Nirvikara Shunyavadi. So they're all worshippers of the unformed, formless one. So basically, why Arjuna is asking here is because he is attached to personal form. Because yesterday he saw the Vishwarup of the Lord, right? So that is also kind of impersonal. But then Arjuna wants validation that you are on the right path. So he wants that clarification, and also to give a clarification to other people so that they should not take a wrong path, right? Okay. So the three stages of God realization. So this is what he is asking about this Brahman. This is better or Bhagwan, right? So Brahman is also a stage in the realization of God, which is the first stage. So then the second stage is Paramatma, and then Bhagwan is the highest, the two-handed form of the Lord. So Paramatma is four-handed, Shankha, Chakra and Gada, Padma, the holding. Shri Bhagavanuvacha मय्यावेशमनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास् ते मे युक्ततमो मताः.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Yeah, so here Lord has given confirmation that personal form, worshipping the personal form of the God is the perfect. Also, Krishna is so beautiful. Brahma Samhita says, Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Barhavatam Samasitambuda Sundarangam Kandar Pakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Krishna, and then also in chapter 9, Krishna says that how to worship Krishna. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Like you always think of me, meditate upon me, madhyaji mam namaskuru, pay obeisances to me, and then you will surely come back to me. So Krishna always in every time he has confirmed that worshipping the personal form is the better, right? And then the pure devotees, like they are like always their thoughts will be dwelling on Krishna only. They'll all their activities, though it may look like even in the material world, the devotees, they may look like they're like a normal people, but then their center is Krishna for them. So whatever they do, it will be for Krishna. So there is one words in Nectar of Devotion. It says, अनासक्तस्य विषयान् यथार्हम् उपयुञ्जतः निर्बन्धे कृष्ण सम्बन्धे युक्तं वैराग्यम् उच्यते. That is like whatever, I mean, they're not attached to anything, but they accept everything in relation to the Lord. So that means anything which is material also, they don't reject it. They use in the service of the Lord. So that is called as yukta vairagya. Like not rejecting, like the sannyasi means they'll just renounce everything, right? They don't want to keep anything material. But real renunciation means even using everything in service of Lord. So they are called the personalist and the pure devotees. Okay, what is the difference between idol worship and deity worship? Okay, who wants to answer? Yes, Parnika. So what is idol worship? Yeah.
Idol worship means idols are actually just symbols of God, but deity worship is Lord Krishna himself who is manifests himself in the form of a deity.
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada also said on that day, you showed us a video, Mataji, where he said we must get the eyes to see him even in the deities. They are not just idols of rock.
True. Very nice. Yeah. Somebody wants to add anything? Anybody else want to say anything on this? What is idol? Yeah, deity worship, you are right. Idol, can somebody say then what is idol worship? Why should we not say idol to the deities? We should not say usually there is a concept like everybody will call even the deity as an idol, right? Some people, they call like that. But we are not supposed to call like that. Why? What is idol worship actually? Have you seen any idol worship? Nobody? Okay. Basically, you must have heard, right? Like idols usually like Gandhi Jayanti or like this Ambedkar Jayanti, that time people will worship them, right? Yeah. So basically, worshipping like when there is a statues, right? The personalities, famous personalities, they make the statue of them, and then once in a year, the people go there and wash the thing and everything, and then they worship. So that is idol, but deity is different. So we can see our Radha Govind here, right? So this is our ISKCON Mangaluru Radha Govind deity. So basically, this is the Aarti image, like morning every day, 4:30, there'll be a Mangalarti. So basically, what, as Panika rightly said, this is actually, it's a mercy of God to come in the deity form so that we can offer him everything. We can offer prayers, we can offer bhog, right? He accepts it. Krishna accepts in that way, right? It is called as Archa Vigraha. So it is basically, they are established as per strict rules as per the Narada Pancharatra Vidhi. It is something proper with the proper rules, and Acharya, like bona fide Acharya, he establishes this with all the mantras and these things. So it is like God is there in that. It is not just it is not just a stone or something. It is like God is there. So it will be carved, the deities are carved as per the Shilpa Shastra. And so that is why we cannot call them as a deity, idols. And also every day, like every early morning, the 4:30, the deities will be woken up, right? They'll be made to wake up, and then they'll be given, Krishna will be given Rabdi because he likes that. And then the different offerings are made at different time. And Krishna accept the service as we do, right? So that is why this is so Krishna accepts in the form. Like one more example what we can take, it's a Prabhupada gives the example of a post office, post box. So when there is a post box, government established post box, right? So if you put some letter, okay, you are writing a letter to your friend in Delhi, so from Bangalore, for example. So you are putting that. So will that go or not? The letter will reach the person when you put in the post box which is established by government. Yes? Yes or no? Hare Krishna.
It will go, Mataji, but it takes some time.
Yeah, it will go, right? So if somebody a boy, a small kid, what he does a similar replica of it and he put there some box. But if he posts there, will that go? Can a letter go? It cannot go, right? Because there is some government authority who has established and he has kept that box. So if we put there, it will go. Similarly, this is established like that, the deities. So that is why when it is established by the acharyas as per the shastras and all the Narada Pancharatra Vidhi is performed, so then the deities are said to take whatever offering we do, and like that. So this is the example Prabhupada gives. Yes, Agrim, you have any question?
You mentioned idol worship as worshipping statues of people, and many people worship Neem Karoli Baba statue.
Which one?
Neem Karoli Baba.
Neem Karoli, who is that?
He was considered to be incarnation or something of Hanumanji, and
No idea.
he got a lot of fame, and he was recognized as a knowledgeable
See,
and wise.
basically, okay, it is not anybody people, okay. For people, we don't say deities. Even in the case, like only for the God, I mean, it is like Krishna and whoever gods, devatas name, it come in the scriptures, that we can call, not anybody else, nobody else, even not even many other form. I mean, whoever humans, we cannot name like a deity there. That will be idols only. Okay. This is only for the names which we get in the scriptures, not anybody else. Yes. Okay. Ye tvaksharaman anirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyancha kutastamachalam dhruvam sanniyam yendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha.
But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons, engaged in the welfare of all, at last achieve it.
Yeah, so basically that is also a way Krishna is saying they also come, but it will take long time. They may have to take many births, right? Krishna says bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarmaviti mahatma sudurlabha. So many births they will have to take, because it is very difficult to meditate upon something which is not there and which is beyond the perception of sense. Right? We cannot meditate on something which is only light or something. It is very difficult to constantly meditate on such thing. So it is inconceivable. So this is not easy for a embodied persons like us, right? So unchanging and fixed. So this is not recommended. Krishna is not recommended this. क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते.
For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
So the word embodied, what do you mean by embodied? Anybody?
Embodied by false ego?
No, not only that. What are, like, we are soul. So we are embodied with what? We are covered with what? One is subtle body. What is it? What is the subtle body? One is false ego, and the other two?
Intelligence and mind.
And then one more is the gross body. So what is the gross body consist of? The 5 gross elements. What are they?
Earth, air, water, fire.
Ether. Yes, very good. So these are the 5. So we are embodied, right? So it is like, it's not just this life. We have taken so many lives, and always there is a body like that. So this material body has been with us for a long time. So for us to differentiate from it is very difficult. So that is why Krishna is mentioning here, for the people to make progress in that discipline, difficult for those especially who are embodied. So for it is not at all recommended. Also, this meditation is not recommended for this age, right? So what is the prescribed dharma in the 4 yugas, if we have to see? So the Satya Yuga is, the meditation was recommended, and that was on meditation of Lord Vishnu, and in Treta Yuga, performing of sacrifices, and Dwapar Yuga, elaborate temple worship, and Kali Yuga, it is chanting the holy name of the Lord. ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्.
But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Yeah. So devotional. So one who is engaged in devotional service of the Lord. So Krishna is telling like he will deliver soon, like swift deliverer. So it will not take many births. That means. So it is like any the material life is compared to the ocean. So it is not very easy to come out. But then with help of Krishna, Krishna is saying, I will take you out from the ocean, right? And also yesterday we saw like how Krishna protects a devotee. So it is like in the hand of, either you are in the hand of a, if a kitten in the hand of a cat, or being a rat in the hand of a cat, right? So Krishna protects the devotee. Okay, this is like so this person, so in a Kali Yuga, right? If we have to go to a mountain and focus on Brahman, so it's not possible, right? It's too cold. And then where is it? I want to go to desert, and then he says it's very hot. And I want to go to forest. So it is, what if the tiger attacks me? So then what is the best thing? The Hare Krishna mantra, right? It's not possible because these are all for different yugas, not recommended for this age. So Kali Yuga, what is the mantra? Can you all chant?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Hare Nama, whatever, what does our scripture say? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Nasti, Gatir Anyata. So that meaning, in Kali Yuga, there is no other way, no other way, no other way except the chanting of the holy name. Actually, this is just one. There are many. I can share you a document. I will give it to the admin to share. There is a, I think it's a 520-page book. Actually, it's all about the Nama, Harinama, the holy name, and so many scriptures. It's not just one. More than more than 50, 60 scriptures. I think it is like in Bhagavatam and different places where it is mentioned about the holy name. Okay, I'll share you that document, and then the effects and different things are there in that book. Soft copy. So now Krishna is explaining the different types of bhakti. Ananya Bhakti is the highest and topmost. Mayyeva mana adhatsva, mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivasishyasi mayyeva, ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Oh, where is the... Okay, translation is not there. I'll just say, Mayyeva mana adhatsva means always meditate upon me, mind, right? Meditate upon me. Mayi buddhim, the intelligence. Buddhi is intelligence. So on me, invest your intelligence on me. Nivasishyasi mayyeva. When you do that, ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Like you will come back to me. There is no doubt about it. So this is basically, they are like the topmost devotees. Like they're always thinking about the Lord, right? They don't need, like us, we have to meditate. We need to do the sadhana to remember the Lord. But these devotees are always 24 hours they are in the service of the Lord. So it's not difficult for them to think about Lord. Just like Prabhupada gives the example, like if a baby is not there at home, or if she sees the baby's cloth or the child's cloth, anything, right? That is enough for her to remember the Lord. Her child. So similarly, anything they see in the world, they relate that to Krishna, because they don't know anything apart from Krishna. Right? Even Prabhupada also, whatever in materialistic thing he sees, he used to connect that something to related to Krishna, everything. So that is the highest. So these are devotees of Vraj and Gopis. They are said to be in Ananya Bhakti. Next comes the Sadhana Bhakti. Ata chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mahistiram abhyasa yogena tataha mamichaptum dhananjaya.
My dear Arjun, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me.
Okay, so Krishna is giving now option. Okay, 24 hours it is not possible for you. So then what is the next option? Do sadhana bhakti. So like whatever spiritual master has given to do 16 rounds per day, he has given, right? Hare Krishna mantra. So it is like now it will act like a medicine on us because we are in a diseased condition. So in material world, everybody are in diseased condition, says Prabhupada. So otherwise we won't be here. If we are, because of the disease only we are here. Otherwise we should be in the spiritual world. So Prabhupada has given 16 rounds for doing every day. And then you have to get up early and attend the Mangalarti, have sattvic food, Krishna Prasad, read Prabhupada books, right? And listen to his lectures. These are the sadhana which is recommended. So that is called as doing these things come under sadhana bhakti. So what happens? Gradually, you will develop that devotion towards Krishna. So the stages of bhakti we have Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, like, right? Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Bhava, and then Prema. Asakti, Bhava, Prema. So like that, we develop the love. So, and when we do the chanting, what happens? Gradually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, right? The dirt of the heart is clean. It gets cleaned. So our consciousness get cleaned. Actually, it is already, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, like it is already there. Everybody already has that Krishna Prema. It is not something I have to endeavor to get it. So it is not like I don't have, or if I have to get some promotion, I have to learn some course, or I have to do something extra to get myself promoted. But it is not like that. Krishna's eternal love, everybody already has it. Only thing is we have to again. It is covered. So how do we do that? By chanting, we can awaken that pure love for God. Next is Nishkama Karma Yoga. Abhyasepya samarthosi matkarma paramo bhava madartamapi karmani kurvam siddhim avapsyasi.
If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
Yeah, so there are people like they can say, like many people, we don't have time to do this sadhana because we are very busy, right? So Krishna is telling, in that case, work for me. Nishkama Karma Yoga means working for Krishna. So yoga means working for Krishna, right? Nishkama Karma, without expectation on results. So in that way, if we work, like you can, how you can do service to Lord, it can be giving our time, or giving your invest your intelligence in the service of Lord, or giving your money or anything. These things come under Nishkama Karma Yoga. So there was there was one temple in Mumbai, Juhu, where the current temple. So during the construction work, there was one person called Shetty. So he was very favorite to Prabhupada because he was a very dedicated person. So Prabhupada always used to like him, always used to speak to him, Shetty, like that. He used to call him and speak to him. And one day, this person comes to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada's room, he wanted to meet Prabhupada. So it was, after the whole day work, he comes, and obviously after work, his clothes were very dirty and like that. So the disciples don't allow him inside. By seeing that, they say that, okay, now Prabhupada is taking rest, and you're not clean. You have to take bath. You go, you take, you can meet tomorrow. So Prabhupada somehow hears the conversation, and Prabhupada immediately calls him. Like, Shetty, come in, he calls. And then they're all surprised because Prabhupada called him. And then he goes inside, and Prabhupada is so happy. Prabhupada tell him that, Shetty, you're working so hard for Krishna, and Krishna is making a temple for you in Goloka. Like that, he says. And then disciples are very shocked to hear that, because if some Prabhupada is saying something, then that is truth. For them, it is like Veda, I mean, we say, right? Is it something, is it, if you're saying something, is it like a Veda Vakya, we say, right? So is it like that? For them, it is like that, because Prabhupada would never simply say something like that or praise somebody unnecessarily like that. So he said like that. So that is the thing. So even if somebody work for Krishna and dedicate all the results to Krishna, that is also highest Nishkama. I mean, but this comes in the third stage. So he is so who is this? Anybody knows? Who is this person? Okay, his name is Alfred Ford. Okay, he's a grandson of Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motors, and he is a great devotee of the Lord. So whatever he earns, he most of his earnings he gives to Krishna. So the Mayapur temple, which is coming up in Kolkata, right, in the West Bengal, so where the temple of Vedic planetarium is coming up, TOVP. So there he has invested more than like 500 crores. So that's why his name also have come in the newspapers, Lord Krishna's billionaire servant. And he's an initiated devotee of Prabhupada, our Ambarisha Das, his name is. So this comes in a Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay, can somebody read the purport? This is from the purport, what Prabhupada says about this. Yeah. Yes, Parnika?
There are many devotees who are engaged in the propagation of Krishna consciousness and they require help. So, even if one cannot directly practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, he can try to help such work. Every endeavor requires land, capital, organization, and labor. Just as in business, one requires a place to stay, some capital to use, some labor, and some organization to expand. So, the same is required in the service of Krishna. The only difference is that in materialism one works for sense gratification. The same work, however, can be performed for the satisfaction of Krishna, and that is spiritual activity.
Yeah. So what do you understand from this? Can somebody tell me? What is Prabhupada trying to tell here?
If somebody wants to spread Krishna consciousness and he is working hard for it, we must also try to help him. Even if we cannot follow all the regulative principles strictly, at least we have to contribute in the service of Krishna and help those who want to spread Krishna consciousness.
Yes, very good. Yeah. So like if first two we are not able to do, right? So at least we can help the people who are doing this or who is trying to spread Krishna consciousness. For them, if we do, then also it is beneficial. I mean, it is good for us. So, okay, this is our, okay, I'll just show you quickly. I'll show you another file. Okay, so this is actually will show the various sevas that we have in our temple, right? So now, first of all, we like to invite you to Janmashtami celebration in our temple, Mangalore. So there's going to be a very grand function, and we have taken a new, plot. I mean, for the land for the temple, right, in Kulai, near Kulai. So this you can see a new ISKCON land at Kulai. So the function is going to be there at that place. So there it is like from August 18th, 19th, and 20th. So 3 days. So there are different programs arranged, and there are bookings are also arranged, and many people who could not come for 3-4 days. And there are like 2 days also there is a possible, like there are options for beachside resorts and lodges like this. So I think this will be shared in group. You can go through 17th and 21st. There are 2 options, so different rates, and there's an option of 2 days. 2 days is costing 4,000. Okay, so you can be part of the function. Okay. So yes, you can gift always. You can, yeah, that is gift Bhagavad Gita. Yes, you can do that. Actually, in December we did so many. Like there'll be Gita marathon, right? We gift. I mean, we take many books those that time. So now also you can do. So there are some other sevas called for the Janmashtami, upcoming Janmashtami, Rajat Kalasha Seva, and
Actually, my elder said that if you know that the person you are gifting Srimad Bhagavad Gita might put it somewhere and forget it, you are the one faulty here. You should not give Bhagavad Gita.
No, nothing like that. Actually, Prabhupada says that his books are like time bombs, because when, like time bomb, we don't know when it will explode, right? So similarly, if you give, don't know like who will read in that family. Somebody will get benefit. Maybe the person whom you give may not read, but maybe his son or his grandson. So it is never a waste. So nothing to worry like that. Okay. So these are the different programs on that. So this is the land you can see here. This is 1.25 acre land. So now already construction is started. So it is expected in 2 years time. So currently the temple which is there, it is only like a small temple. It's a rented one. Okay. So I mean, our president Namanisha Prabhuji, for 20 years, okay, 20 years he has worked, and he was in the temple in Mangalore, and he could not purchase a land in past 20 years. And during, I mean, he used to go to colleges and give the lectures, I mean, on the spirituality and science and spirituality. You can't even give directly on Bhagavad Gita, right? So he used to give like science and spirituality, because he is from IIT Kanpur. So he used to go to NIT Surat Kalnit Nitte and other colleges there, but there was not much fund. So finally during Corona, we were fortunate, like because of Krishna's mercy, got the land, and I mean, they could buy I mean, from donations and from people like that. But now it's a 20 crore project. It needs lot of money. So if people can, if we all have to support for that cause. So this is the temple. Okay, you can see here. So this is all started now. This is for ashram. This is the basement, and this is there's going to be a brahmachari guest house also. Actually, Prabhuji's plan is to, like, it should be like an education hub. He wants to, there's going to be a proper classroom kind of teaching also going to be there. So you can see this project is around 1.5 acre. So at 75,000 square feet of construction cost around 15 crore. So 5,000 square feet temple hall, Anand hall, Govinda's restaurant, everything is planned. So project expected to complete by 2024. So I'll show you the, okay, these are different links of donation. We usually, I mean, some ISKCON, we don't know, like spam messages, I have told you on the orientation day, they send by the messages, but we don't do that. So anyone willing to do the seva, please only through these links or from our website, you can do it. So there are different sevas. Dharmadik, I mean, one-time seva, second time, I mean, monthly seva. Can sponsor a brick. It will cost 1,500 for one brick, and like that it goes. So there is a life membership, which also can be paid in installments. 35,000 is the cost of a membership, life membership, and you can pay in 2 installments, I think. And then there is a Dharmakarta seva. Oh, it's not here. Okay, I think these things we will share, I think, in the, okay, so it will take you there. So all the benefits, you can see what it is. So Dharmakarta means you can actually have your name on the spirit, I mean, on the, once the temple comes, so you will have your name there on the spiritual fame, like, and then VIP passes, free ISKCON membership, and this is 1,08,000 it says, and it can be paid in 3 years. So all these have been done so that whatever you do, any seva, it will help for the temple construction also. So I will show you one video.
Mataji, what is life membership?
Like you will be a life member, like whenever it is like whenever any part of the world ISKCON, if you go in a year, you can stay like 4 days, 5 days, like in that temples. So it will be very basic cost, something they take, I think. Otherwise, it is like almost free. In India, maybe it is very free, but outside, some basic charges they may take. All over the world, anywhere you can go, and there are many benefits. You can go through that. We will share in the group, okay? And any programs is happening in temple, that will be you will be intimated. So, and in your name on birthdays, I think the puja special, the pujas will be done.
And what is the brick system?
Okay, this is I'll just show you this. Just watch this video. What is this? Why is it not playing? What happened? Okay.
I'm standing at the entrance of the project, and where I'm standing at this place is a big gap. This is the place the Raj Gopura or the Katta Gopura will come, and both the sides we will have the shops where we can distribute Bhagavad Gita in all the languages, all prasadam, various paraphernalia, chappal stand, all this will come at this place. The last stages of the temple shaping. This huge pit has been made, and I think last time when I showed you last month it was half of that. Now within 2-3 days this will finish now, and the construction of the temple is about to start. So Hare Krishna. So this will be, as I explained you last time, the whole what you're seeing at the ground floor, this whole thing will be actually the Annadana hall, where we will be distributing prasadam to the public, and above that will be 2 stories of the temple. Temple is double story, so the temple will come, and this construction we should finish within 1 year time. That is our desire. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So now you can have a look at the ashram, and you see some big development here. We have now finished 1 floor. So this has been going at a good speed. We'll finish in 3 months' time. The whole ashram should be over. The first slab is coming, and then we will have 1 more floor, and that's all. It's a 2-story structure, the ashram.
Oh. Sorry.
Some big development here will be over. 8 dormitories, and there are 8 dormitories, and this will be the bathroom. They're disconnected, so you can see.
Ma'am, it's not audible.
That
Not audible.
seeing from that house, right till
Now
you can see
Yes,
till
ma'am,
the
it's audible.
road on the other end. Yes, till that time this is our big piece, in which we have a 5-story structure coming. In fact, this is the biggest building we have, and where we are now, this will be the 3rd story which will come. And in this structure we are having at the bottom parking, and then we will have one side we are having a dormitory for students to come and stay. On top of that we have Govinda's restaurant. On top of that we have 2 stories of guest house. On this side, we have parking at the bottom. Then we have 2 stories of what do you call it, steam kitchen. Huge steam kitchen is coming, which can cook for 5,000 people at a time. And on top of that, 2 stories of guest house. So this is the structure. We still not started construction, but it is all cut and kept ready. Hare Krishna. So I hope this is the update, and as the construction is picking up, we need your support so that we can finish this construction in a very short time. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Okay, so that is the temple which is coming up. Okay. Okay, we will share this in the group. So whatever possible from your end, you can do the seva. So next comes the Sakama Karma Yoga. Now is it fine? Is it audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So now the fourth stage is the Sakama Karma Yoga. Ataidadapya shaktosi kartumadyogamashritah sarva karma palatyagam tata kuru yatatmavan.
If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Yeah. I think the volume is too high. Okay, so this Sakama Karma Yoga means giving some portion as a charity, right? It is not especially, there's no Krishna here, but giving charity also one day, like making a habit of giving to, it's not like not having attached to the fruits of our action. Whatever we do, the fruit we get, we give it to others, the results, right? So giving in the form of charity or to educational institution or giving to orphanages, right? In companies, they call this as a CSR activity, right? So this is called as Sakama Karma. So anything welfare work doing to people, that comes under it. So what Prabhupada says for this is, like, there is in wet wood, you can't, it won't catch fire very soon, right? But it will take long time. So basically, if Sakama Karma, if somebody is doing the charity and these works, they'll have to take many births and then come to Nishkama Karma Yoga, where you work for Krishna. So this is the fourth one. And next comes the Dhyana and Jnana. So Krishna is giving a fourth option now. Shreyo hi gnanam abhyasat jnana dhyanam vishishyate. Dhyanat karma pala tyagah tyaga chantiranantaram.
If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind.
Yeah. So basically, jnana means developing a knowledge, like some good or moral science, like that kind of education, or also like I'm not body, I'm soul, only the basic knowledge, not into practical application. So just gaining some knowledge, and then better than that is, Krishna is saying here, engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge, but better than knowledge is meditation. So meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of fruit of action. So these are all comes the next. But the highest are the first three, right? The Ananya Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti, and Nishkama Karma Yoga. So these things come late because these are not connected directly with Krishna. So they are not highest. So now the qualities of a pure devotee. Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankaraha samadukka sukha kshami santushta satatam yogi yayatma druda nischayah mayyarpita mano buddhihi yo madbhakta same priyaha. Yes.
One who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
Yeah. So we can see like Krishna everywhere he says, if we have to become really a devotee of Lord, we have to leave all these things like the envious nature we should not have. And he has to be a kind friend to all living entity, not just like human beings, to all the living entities. And who do not think that he's himself a proprietor and feel free from false ego means there is no conception of like bodily conception. So he is above that. He is transcendent to the three modes. Okay, this we'll see the three modes in chapter 14. And he is who is samas sukha dukkha, even in happiness and distress, he is same. He don't get disturbed. So anybody knows who is this personality in this picture? No? Okay. So this is Sanatana Goswami. So one of our acharya who comes in the disciplic succession. So once what happens, he is always observed in like he was a minister in Mohammedans government in Kolkata, Bengal. But when he and Rupa Goswami, his brother, they meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they immediately decide that they will work for him. So they will take sannyas and they leave their jobs. So they were so much, influenced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he was like always meditating upon Lord, and he has also written so many books. Okay, so once he was always meditating, he had one precious gemstone called Chintamani. Like it is a desire fulfilling. Whatever we ask, we get it. So he had got that from I don't know from whom he got. I think from I don't remember exactly from whom he got, but he had this Chintamani. And then one couple, very poor couple in that village, so they come to know that he's having that stone. And the wife tells the husband that, anyways, this guy is always chanting. He don't need that. Why don't you go and ask him? He has that Chintamani. And then the husband comes and asks him that, okay, can you give me that? So then he says, okay, I have just put, he has just thrown it somewhere in the like a waste thing on in his cottage. Then he says it is lying there, you can just take it. So he goes and take it, and then with that they were able to make whatever they wish, they could able to get it, and they become very rich. They had lot of money now. And then the wife tells him her husband one day that okay, I think this Sanatana Goswami must be having something more precious with him. Why don't you ask him? Because he is not interested in that Chintamani. Then the husband comes again and he asks, I think what is that something how are you so happy? You must be having something else. So what is that? Then he says, then you have to throw that the gem stone in the river and then come to me. Yes, I have. I will give it to you. You come. And then he comes and then he gives him the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? So he is so happy with that. He is not even interested in any of the material comforts. So this is like a pure devotee, right? He's always, his intelligence is fixed on the Lord. So he don't want anything else. Materialistic things does not attract him. Yasmano dvijate lokaha lokano dvijate chayah harsha marsha bhavodvegaihi mat muktayassa cha me priyaha.
He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety is very dear to me.
Yeah. So who else we can remember other than Prabhupada, right? So much difficulty he has seen, and he is so determined. And whatever Prabhupada was never in, he was not in distress. He used to do how much ever failures he had, he used to always try again and again. So many failures, though he, 40 years is a such a so many years, like 40 years is his patience. After that, he went to West, and then he had to preach this Krishna consciousness, right? So, such a devotee is dear to me, Krishna says. So there's a story for that. So there's a Chitraketu Maharaj. He was so once Chitraketu, he was a great devotee of the Lord. So he was traveling on a airplane in the sky, and then what happens? He saw on the way while passing this Lord Shiva, who was the Bhagavad Puran. He was telling to all the sages, great sages there, and also he had made his wife to sit on his lap. Okay, by seeing that, actually Chitraketu Maharaj, he laughs because he was actually he just laughed, thinking that what example is he giving like that. But actually, Lord Shiva, we know that Lord Shiva is above all that. He is not in that platform. He is a very exalted position, Lord Shiva. But he didn't mean that. He actually simply laughed, and then, but Lord Shiva just smiled. He didn't take it offensively. But then Mother Parvati took it offensively. She got very angry, and then she cursed him that even Lord Brahma does not say anything to my husband. Then who are you? How can you comment on Lord Shiva like that? So she got angry. She cursed him to become a demon in the next birth. So he becomes Vritasura in his next life. So, and then he had a fight with Indra, and he swallowed Indra. Actually, Indra was in his stomach for almost 1 year. And then he only gives him the solution that with the Vishnu weapon, there is some Vishnu weapon. With that, he can be killed. So then Indra kills him. But Prabhupada tells there that though in material platform, we see that he got killed, like Indra won by killing him. But actually, he got liberated. Vritasura got liberated, and he went back to the spiritual world. So who won actually? Vritasura. So this is a and actually when he was cursed, though there is no there was no mistake from his end. Actually, still he accepts that. He apologizes her that I'm sorry, mother, and he accepts that. Then Lord Shiva also praises, saying that see the devotee of Vishnu. So they are so in exalted position, right? So actually he could have cursed it since, but he didn't do that. So that is how they are same in any, like they don't expect any thing. They are equipoised in any situation. Anapeksha shuchir dakshaha udasino gatavyataha sarvaramba parityagi yo madbhakta same priyaha.
My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me.
Yeah. So who is this? Sudama, right? So Sudama, like the pure devotees, they're not on a materialistic platform. So though he was very poor, he didn't have, he had many children. They were not having proper food to eat. So, but still he was happy. But then once his wife tells him that, we are so poor, we don't have proper food. Why don't you go to your best friend Krishna, who is a king in Mathura then, right? So why don't you go and ask him something? So then he goes there, but he's like, but he does not ask Krishna anything. Krishna serves him, right? He washes his leg and he takes care of him for 3-4 days. He stays there, and then before leaving, like he couldn't ask Krishna anything. He just leaves from there. And then while coming, he was thinking, what will I tell my wife? But then when he reached there, he sees that there is already a big palace in place of his cottage. And then his wife is coming out, and she's wearing all the silk sari with all ornaments and everything. And he's surprised. So because so Krishna could understand, though he does not speak, since he's there as Paramatma in our heart, he could understand what was he going through, and then he fulfilled his wishes. But Sudama, even after that, he didn't stay in that palace. He said that if I am staying here, I may not be able to remember Krishna. So he comes out of it and he lives separately in a cottage. So this was during the Krishna's pastime, when Krishna was there in Dwapar Yuga. Yo na rishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhaktimanya same priyaha.
One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, and who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me.
Yeah, so this is Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj, you all know the story, right? So the father was Hiranyakashipu, and he was he didn't like Vishnu at all. So he was hating the Vishnu because his brother was killed by Hiranyaksha was killed by Vishnu. So he never liked the Devatas and the Supreme Lord Vishnu, especially he didn't like. So, but then his son was such a devotee of the Vishnu, because from since when he was in womb of his mother, he had heard from Narada Muni about the Lord's pastimes and about the Lord. So he was a great devotee. But since his mind was always absorbed in remembering of the Lord, the whatever plans he made to kill Prahlad, his father was defeated. He couldn't kill him, right? So he never laments, he never used to grieve for anything, and he was not afraid. So this is a example of for this Prahlad Maharaj. Then Samashatrau cha mitre cha tata manapamanayoh shitoshna sukha dukkeshu samasanga vivarjitaha tulya ninda stutirmauni santushto yena kenachit aniketastiramatihi bhaktiman me priyo naraha.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me.
Yeah. So how is this possible, we may feel, right? How is it possible to be equal to friends and enemies? We cannot, for us, it is very difficult. So we, in these things, how much we can relate to ourselves? Very, I think, very less. Who is equipoised in honor and dishonor? We cannot take it, right? If a person is in a good post, if somebody wish him one day, and if the other day, if he doesn't wish him, then he feels dishonored. Or wherever we go, we want people to honor us or speak to us. Otherwise, we feel like ignored. And heat and cold, the happiness just fame. So this one, example of Amrish Maharaj, where he is equal to both friend and enemy. So what happens? Once, this is Durvas Muni. So Amrish Maharaj was famous in all the three worlds, right? The upper planet, lower planet, and the middle planet. Everywhere his name was famous because he was a pure devotee of Lord, and he was all his senses he engaged in the service of the Lord. So when he come to know Durvas Muni, so he's become a bit envious, and he wanted to defame him. So what he does, he comes there. It was the Ekadashi day, the Dwadashi day. So tomorrow is Ekadashi. So whoever possible, try to keep Ekadashi. You can fast with either fruits or with water. Okay, and you can also have what to say, that sweet potato and the all milk and other items, paneer and these things and all you can have. But if possible, you can try to have the fruits and these things. Okay, to please Krishna, that's all, nothing else. And day after tomorrow is the fast breaking. So that will be also shared in group, the timing. So this was on the Dwadashi day. So he had kept a Nirjal, Nirjal means without even having water. So next day was Dwadashi, was to break the fast. So exactly he comes at that time, very less minutes left for fast breaking. And Durvas Muni, what he does, he says that I'm going for a bath, and he comes with many people, his disciples, and he says we are going, and I'll come back when in some time. So then the time is going, and he asked him, so what do we do? Then the priest say that, okay, do one thing, because time was up. If you don't take the water, then whatever you did, the phala will go, right? There is so that is why you have just one drop of water. And Durvas Muni was waiting for this chance. He just has one drop water, and so that even he should not feel bad. But then he took it as offensive, and he comes there and he says that you have insulted me. So when the guest is there, you have taken water, and it's an insult. So with his hair, he brings one demon, the fire demon, to kill him. So he couldn't kill the. So immediately, what happens? Vishnu's Sudarshana Chakra was protecting him. He comes there, and Sudarshana Chakra first kills the demon, and then it goes to kill this Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni had to run. So he runs first to Brahma. So Brahma says, I cannot do anything because it's a Vishnu Sudarshana Chakra, I can't stop. So you may go to check with Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva, he goes, and Lord Shiva also denies that. I cannot help you because you have unnecessarily you have created this one with Vishnu. So Sudarshana Chakra, only Vishnu can save you. You go to Vishnu. So then he goes to Vishnu. Vishnu says that once the Sudarshana Chakra has left, I cannot stop it. So it has to complete its work. Your only option is you can go and ask apology with Ambrish Maharaj. If he apologizes you, forgives you, then you will be saved. Then he comes. So it is said 1 year, because he had to go to the other planets and he has to come down to Earth. It was already 1 year, and Ambrish Maharaj was waiting. He didn't even have a drop of water. So he didn't have. So he comes there, and then he falls at his feet and he asks forgiveness. So Ambrish Maharaj says that, then he prays to the Sudarshan Chakra, to the Lord, saying that if at all I have done some devotion, please forgive him. So that was the humility, and how he treated the same, right? Even though he was he treated him so badly, he forgave him. So this is the one. Okay, this is going to the Lord, and so here he is forgiving. So this comes in Bhagavatam. So this is the last shloka. Etu dharmamrutamidam yatoktam paryupasate shraddhadhana matparamaha bhaktastetiva me priyaha.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me.
Yeah. So this is these are all qualities of a pure devotee, and this is a devotee, Bilva Mangala Thakur. Okay, this comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's not Surdas, it is Bilva Mangala Thakur. Okay, so he was born in an aristocratic family, a very rich family, and when he was before he became a devotee, so he had one girlfriend. Actually, he used to go to a prostitute. So she was a prostitute. He used to go there, and he was so fond of her that once there was his father had died, and that Shraddha ceremony was happening at his home, and it was raining very badly. And he tells the priest that I'll give you more money. You please finish it fast, because he want to go and meet her. So he gives some money and makes that priest that finish that fast. And then it was very heavy, raining very badly. Then he goes there. So on the way, actually it was so heavily it is raining. He couldn't. In the river, he sees there was a dead body, but he thinks that as a wood log, and he with the help of that, he crosses the river. And then when he goes, and also he climbs up, there also there was a snake. but he could not make out. He thinks that as a rope, and somehow, I don't know, it didn't bite him, but he reached there. And then so when he reached there, so actually that lady, what she thought, actually she's a devotee of the Lord. Though she was a prostitute, she was a devotee. And what she thinks, okay, it is already late, this person may not come. So she closed the door and she had went to sleep. Then this person comes, and midnight he knocks it. And then she is surprised. She was shocked, and she says that I never expected that you will come. Then he says that, you know what I did, like, for you, I mean, I have taken so much of trouble for you. Then he starts explaining like how he came, like he didn't even notice that it was a dead body. He came like that, and he used the snake and all that. Then she says that if so much endeavor you have done, if you had put little bit in Krishna's devotional service, you would have got Krishna. So her name was Chintamani. So it is said that in the previous life, Bilva Mangala Thakur was a pure devotee. And once a person is initiated, he comes under a sampradaya and is initiated. So the spiritual master does not leave us even life after life until he takes back to God, back to Godhead. So that is why the coming under shelter of spiritual master is so much important. So he comes in, I mean, he's the one who spoke, that is like in her place in Chintamani. So he made to speak like that. So what she does, once he feels very so immediately he got enlightened when she said that. Then he decides that I have to leave everything, I'll go to Vrindavan. So he leaves from there immediate, and he goes to Vrindavan. But after going Vrindavan, what happens? He sees a couple going there, husband and wife. So immediately after seeing them, some bad thought come to his mind. So then he feels that, okay, so he goes there. He asks that if I can, husband, he goes and asks if I can speak to your wife. Then he allows. Then he asks her to give her the hairpin, right? The women use for keeping flowers and all that. So that hairpin he asks, and that pin he takes off both his eyes. So, and this is called as Anukaran and Anusaran. So we are not supposed to do Anukaran of, I mean, we cannot repeat what pure devotees do, but then only we can follow their footstep, Anukaran, right? So he takes out his eyes, and then he becomes really the pure devotee, and he always prays Krishna. And it is said, like, when he was not having food, Krishna used to come and personally feed him. He used to sing bhajans for Krishna, and Krishna used to come and listen to him. So this is the story of Bilva Mangala Thakur. So it's a pure devotee. So these are the qualities that we saw of a pure devotees. So this is the so how one can understand the Lord? Only to, even in the previous chapter, Krishna said, Bhaktya tu ananya shakya. See, only with the pure devotional service you can understand Krishna. Okay, there's the overview. Arjuna's inquiry, personalist or impersonalist, and Krishna clarifies the difference between the both, personalist and impersonalist, and progressive stages, the different stages of how we can go, like from Ananya Bhakti to Ananya Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti, Nishkama, and then Sakama, Jnana, Dhyana, and renunciation of fruits of action. Then qualities that endear one to Krishna. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Any questions on today's chapter? Okay, no questions. No questions? Okay. So we close then. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Fasting is basically to please Krishna, and also scientifically also, it is like, I think the positions of the planets is like that. It is good if we do tomorrow. I mean, on these days, it is good if we do the fasting. So basically, the devotees do to please Krishna. If you have not done any before, then what you can do, there are many things, like at least you have to fast from grains. That is, don't have grains, the dal and these things. So also the rice or wheat, these things we should not have. Yeah, it's difficult for you to convince parents. See, you can have the fruits, you can have it. Is fasting means it's not like without having anything. You can have lot of fruits, milk, and the sweet potato. And you know the sabudana, right? The nylon sabudana you get. So that is very easy. Like you can soak for yeah, onion. Yes. Oh, yeah. Chai also, no, we don't take. Chai, onion, garlic, these things. Yeah. No. Tomorrow, no, you are asking Agrim or in general? Actually, chai is not taken only. And Prabhupada has told not to take. It's also like.
Ma'am, my mom says that you can drink tea, you can have chai, even in bread times. Only if
But
you are something with it.
yeah, but Prabhupada has given us like, even we should not have tea also. Tea, coffee is also, yeah, tea and coffee is not to be taken. We don't take onion, garlic, tea, coffee. Yes, you can continue as you're doing, no problem. But if possible, you try. Otherwise, there's no phones. It's okay. You're all still, you can take your time, no issues. Or like that, as I said, that sabudana, that you can make a khichdi, that will be also tasty. And that will fill your stomach also. It's not like a, you can try that. You can just make some like that green chili and coriander and that groundnut powder if you put, na, it will be really tasty. You can do that. So
Mataji, even on normal days, I once tried to tell my mom to avoid onion and garlic, but she doesn't listen.
yeah, I know it is not difficult. It's not possible for everyone. It is difficult. I mean, because we've been using for so many years, no? So basically, but how it happens, it's like works as a magic. That's all. Like I think if you start chanting, somewhere that Krishna gives that strength. So how did you feel like to leave, right? So because of chanting, or otherwise, how can you also? I mean, you are ready to leave, right? So you are ready to leave. How did that happen? So if they also take to Krishna consciousness, like the chanting, if somebody starts, then automatically you will feel okay. It's okay. I can do this much. I can do for Krishna. You feel, but it's okay if you can't. I mean, still you're small, right? Maybe when it is in your hand, that time you can do. Now you can't.
No, like if you made them aware of what good it does to your body, then I guess they won't have any problem. Like my mom made me do it a couple of times, and it was easy itself, to be honest, because I had online
Which one?
classes.
Onion garlic?
No, fasting full day.
Okay, fasting. Okay.
Only like water and like lemon honey. That's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, once in a while, actually, it needs our stomach also. It is good if we give rest to our digestive system. Okay. Tea, fruits, makhani, and milk products are okay. Salt. Yeah, salt is okay. Salt. Okay, salt only one time. Okay. Makhane is what? It's a lotus seed, right? Is it lotus seed? Makhane. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Okay, then Chalo, we close. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We can chant once. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much.